You're never going to learn something as profoundly as when it's purely out of curiosity. And this is truly the case with Christopher Nolan. His interest in curiosity in the world of filming has led him to dictate masterpieces from The Dark Knight to Interstellar. These are films merely scratching the surface. Producing films of high quality for almost a decade now certifies Nolan as an all-time director. No individual has been able to mimic his directing style. Within today's day and age, video effects are capable of what we imagined was impossible. From giant monsters to unreal superheroes out of a child's imagination. Everything we experience and perceive on the big screen seems unbroken. But Christopher Nolan is separated from the pack, breaking the fourth wall and changing the rules of spectacle cinema. Bending the rules of spectacle cinema with minimal VFX shots. Inception having 500, Batman Begins having 600, in contrast to Avengers Endgame having 2,500 VFX shots. While spectacle cinema is disappearing into the abyss, Nolan's practical effects is differentiating the real and imagined.
There's a feeling of reality, there's a feeling of being somewhere that matters.
The human eye is conditioned to separate and find the difference between the real and imagined. Nolan's films explore the human condition, having a protagonist who is competing to perceive and accept reality. He aims to tell the story from a subjective point of view to show the way the character sees the world.
In structural terms, I was very interested in trying to tell the story from a very subjective point of view, really try and show you the way this character sees the world, and use a dislocated narrative structure that basically runs backwards in effect, to put you in the head of this character and really experience some of his confusion and ambiguity.
Nolan took the typical foundation of a superhero film and continued to dwell in the thought of finding identity, tackling dual persona. The Batman trilogy gives the audience time to capture the struggles of Bruce Wayne. It means to uncover who he really is, Bruce Wayne or Batman. But rather, the role of Batman helps Bruce become who he really is, to form his identity rather than having two separate identities. Batman Begins contains a pivotal quote discussing his upbringing.
People need dramatic examples to shake them out of apathy, and I can't do that as Bruce Wayne. As a man, I'm flesh and blood. I can be ignored, I can be destroyed, but as a symbol, I can be incorruptible.
Or The Dark Knight Rises portrays his departure. Wayne's sacrifice in The Dark Knight Rises kills off Batman, leaving him with Bruce Wayne. Wayne has now accepted the fact that his reality is that he won't be able to live or love through Batman. Nolan explores the reality of time through his use of nonlinear structure and multiple character point of views, showing how everyone experiences time differently. The reality of time is that within reality, time always runs out. You never have enough of it. Nolan's Tenet is a blockbuster focusing on reliving time and preserving that reality.
I need an audience with Sanjay Singh.
That's not possible.
10 minutes, tops.
Time isn't the problem. It's getting out alive. That's the problem.
Within the film, Kat sees a woman diving off the yacht owned by Andre, resulting in her confronting Andre, but him denying ever throwing a woman off the yacht. This results in conflict between the two, giving Kat the willpower to invest time and kill Andre, then proceed to jump off the yacht, with the former past-self witnessing the act, elaborating on that one must exist with the other. The past must work in order with the future to create the reality known as present. Kat's relationship with time changes over time with the flow of time.
Which is an expression of faith in the mechanics of the world. Call it what you want. What do you call it? Reality.
Creating a different view for her during the start of the film and the end. As much as Kat wants to change events in the past, she cannot and must move forward. Inception, regarded as one of, and if not Nolan's best production, and being a top-grossing film of Nolan's, the film revolves around the idea of dreams being reality, of individuals having the reality to be the dream. Created during the time Nolan was working on his Insomnia, he had a thought, a dream of a reality where individuals stole ideas and thoughts from the dream state of others. This inspired an 80-page script giving birth to Inception. Following the later days of release of The Dark Knight, Warner Bros. Needed another blockbuster, taking account of Nolan's idea about dream thieves. On February 11th, Warner Bros. Purchased the idea of Inception, and so began the production of the film. Being one of Nolan's first few films, it had a tight budget. Even for something scaling as large as it was, it had a budget of $160 million, while it boxed office a total of $836 million, declaring it as one of the most successful films during the 2000s era. Following the later months, Nolan kept on referring to it as dreamy inspiring the film, drawing inspiration on dreams based in reality. Inception is a psychological thriller film playing with a lot of mental elements of the viewers, one being the process of mind psychology. Nolan continued to focus on the plot of the film rather than characters, displaying high profiles of action, reflecting the character's mind. When the characters first enter the dream state, we see several objects and individuals from Cobb's past. The train driving through a highway is reflecting of his mental state, while others see him with some of his life in order. The thought of him losing his wife brings dreadful times. The train is being reflective of his wife Mal, crashing through his present time. Inception plays with the perception and perspective of reality, fading the line between dreams and reality. The perception of time within dreams may feel as if we have been sleeping for hours, but in reality it is minutes. Drawing the line between dreams and reality, it is difficult to make clear whether an individual is dreaming, as the world in the dream state will be reflective of our perception of reality.
And they feel it with their subconscious.
How could I ever acquire enough detail to make them think that it's reality?
Well, dreams, they feel real while we're in them, right? It's only when we wake up that we realize something was actually strange.
The characters use physical evidence to indicate whether they are dreaming or truly in reality.
You need a small object, potentially heavy, something you can have on you all the time that no one else knows.
Like a coin?
No, it needs to be more unique than that. Like, this is a loaded die. I can't let you touch it, that would defeat the purpose. See, only I know the balance and the weight of this particular loaded die.
Cobb uses a spinning top as his totem, a spinning top belonging to Mal. The role of the totem is to be individual to the user. Only the user should know the feeling of the totem. While Cobb's connection to Mal results in using the totem, being the last physical memory of Mal in reality. The totem symbolizes his guilt and regret over Mal's death. Nolan is separated from the pack, identifying as his own movie author, as a media auteur. An auteur is a director whose personal influence and artistic control over their films are so significant that they're regarded as the author, and whose films are collectively seen as a body of work sharing common themes. This theory influences modern-day examples and showcases Nolan as a prime example, with all his productions having similarities, whether this be the human condition or discussing the reality of time. Looking at all the films, Nolan has distinguished himself as his own director with the use of cones and conventions, presenting unreal lighting, showcasing mise-en-scène, or having an intellectual storyline.